Well, hi everyone. I'm John Redland with my review of AEW Dynamite, and this show is messy. Really goddamn messy. I do want to firstly say that I hope that all the roster, the staff, everybody stays safe. I hope the same for all of you that are watching, and thank you guys very much for tuning in. But if you want to know what I thought, there were some things about this show I liked, and there were a lot of things about this show that I didn't, and some things that I absolutely hated. I've been giving AEW a lot more praise lately. In fact, I would argue between the two shows, AEW has put on the better weekly product for a number of months. This is one of the first times where I was like, wow, they really took me out of it. And there are a few reasons. You probably can guess why. And I have my opinions, and I'm going to stick by them because certain things have changed my mind. Certain talents have changed my mind. There are certain things that I just can't budge on because they're fucking shit. So, firstly, Shivani, JR, and Excalibur back on commentary. Okay, good. I'm going to miss Jericho on commentary, but you know what? It's time to get back to him being in the ring, and maybe if he can do commentary, on the tape shows, if they decide to just have him there and not have him wrestle, cool. Well, I don't know what the future of AEW is going to be as far as like how much live and taped television they're going to do, but I'm just glad they're providing content. Though I have some issues with them doing a pay-per-view, but I digress. I'll get into that a little bit later. So there was a lot of pyro for Cody. I get that. Pyro for Janela. Why? Joey Janela fucking sucks. I've seen him live twice. And the guy's fucking rotten. I know there are people that like him, and that's fine. You guys can like him. I'm not saying you can't. But I think the guy fucking sucks. And this match, for fuck's sake, why did this go 15 pissing minutes? I can understand Joey getting in a few shots and everything, but Cody at times can have a good to great match, even a match that I would say exceeds expectations. And then there are times he, tries to get a lot out of an opponent that isn't all that good. And this was an example of that. Joey is fucking rotten. Boy, they've been tested and practicing good social distancing. Wait, that might not have been what JR said. But anyway, a reverse suplex off the ropes for two, a superplex, so to speak. And then we get a Cody cutter for two. Janela hits a few moves, but finally, thank fucking Christ, Crossroads 1, 2, 3. Cody should have won this in half the time that he did. Joey is not any more than a fucking mid-card guy. I'm sorry, that's just how I see him. Other people can see him otherwise. Cool. You guys can do that. So, we get a women's division video package, and somebody, or like a narrator said about Nyla Rose, Riho, it was regarded as the greatest women's match in AEW history. Now, I got nothing against Nyla Rose, and Riho does have ability, and I'm happy that Nyla Rose won. But no, that match could have been great, but Riho kicked out of way too much shit for it to be considered the greatest women's match in AEW history. They got a long way to go with their women's division, chiefly keeping Brandy out of the motherfucking ring. Don't worry, I'll get to more. But it is what it is. So they talk about various women. They talk about Britt, Sheeta, Ford. Penelope Ford's been coming on pretty well. And Shivani's interviewing Nyla Rose, and it's done. And I believe Excalibur called him the human mic stand Tony Schiavone, which was pretty funny. That could be a t-shirt, I believe JR said. Nyla Rose versus Kenzie Page. Kenzie Page is only 18 years old, has not been wrestling all that long, or I think they said actually she's been wrestling for a bit. But look, if she can, grow into this, she could be somebody they could use on the perimeter, and hopefully she gets some more experience. It was a squash match, and it should have been. That's what it should have been. And Nyla Rose won. And she does a couple power bombs and the Beast Bomb 1, 2, 3. So I want to say this much about Nyla Rose. I want her to hold the championship for a while. I really do. I want the championship to be established as legitimate. And even though Riho was good, I don't feel she was the proper first women's champion. But that being said, can't change history. If they want to have Nyla Rose be a dominant champion, please do that. Put her in meaningful feuds. Have her squash people, build up to some feuds, build up to big matches on pay-per-view, and have her hold it for at least 6 months or 9 months or even a year if they do it properly. Don't just keep it on her and not book her properly, because otherwise it's not going to do any good for anybody involved. It's not going to do any good for Nyla. It's not going to do any good for her being a trans woman. It's not going to do any good for any cause or whatever. It's not going to do any good for the women's division if they don't book the championship properly. So that's just my hope, that they book it properly, Nyla has a dominant run, and we build up some challengers and we do some good stuff and utilize more women in squash matches like this. That way, you can, bridge gaps between the pay-per-views and you can build up some shit pretty damn good. They also only have a few weeks until Double or Nothing. I actually think they only have 18 days, and they already announced a slew of matches. But anyway, an MJF promo. He's, everybody's talking about being the next big thing, and they're almost 30. He's 24, and, talking about being, better than you, and you know it. They move the chair and have the throne sitting there, and next week he sits back on his throne. And this was some good stuff. I don't know if MJF's the best heel in wrestling, but he is pretty goddamn good. I think a few too many people are critical of the guy. Saying he's the best heel in wrestling, you're entitled to your opinion, but I've seen the guy live, and I saw him a couple years ago at some indie shows. The guy was fucking great then and has only gotten better. So he is quite goddamn good, in my personal opinion. You may disagree. And so he's going to wrestle next week. And then Shawn Spears talked about, the career of Dustin. His career is over. There was blood everywhere. Or was the Benoit household? I don't know. So yeah, talking about, I guess they're going to have Dustin versus Shawn Spears at some point. That's a match that we really need to see. It may not be that bad, actually. But anyway, Shivani then interviews MJF, Shawn Spears, and Wardlow just stands there. And MJF talks about stuff, and it gets announced that he's going to face Jungle Boy at the pay-per-view. He's like, I didn't sign up for that. So that was some pretty good stuff there. Kazarian with SCU, Scorpio Sky, and Christopher Daniels versus Jon Moxley. Non-title match. Good match. Well wrestled, as you would expect with a veteran like Kazarian and with somebody with years of experience like Moxley. Obviously, Kazarian has been wrestling longer as he is older. I think he's 21 years of experience. And I've seen Kazarian wrestle live. Guy's just as incredible watching in front of like an indie crowd of like 500-600 people as he is, on a worldwide television program like this. And some very good wrestling. Goes outside during the break. Super kick off the ropes. Looked like it caught Mox right in the goddamn neck. So hopefully he's okay there. Mox should wear, I know he's wearing tape because of his, because of the staph infection and the elbow problems that he's had, surgery and all that. He really should wear an elbow pad, put the tape, put the elbow pad on, and just do that because you're going to protect yourself better. Or something, because it's just that tape was coming off. And I mean, if he's worried about infection, he needs to, do a better job taking care of that. Anyway. So, Mox hits Paradigm Shift for 3 after a pretty good match. And then, what kills it? The fucking Dark Order. Fine, just beat me over the head with this fucking bullshit gimmick. Fucking hell, stop featuring these fucking stupid gimp wannabes. And it's not that they aren't talented. I don't care how talented they are. Brody Lee comes down and, we got this. Brody Lee's going to challenge Jon Moxley. Congratulations, you're going back to a WWE match that probably wouldn't have been all that good anyway. As good as Brody Lee is, as good as Moxley is. I don't need to see the fucking Dark Order, the Dork Order, whatever the fuck you want to call them, that piece of fucking pile of shit gimmick. And it is. It's fucking rotten. You guys can like it, but it's fucking rotten. And they're having Brody Lee challenge Jon Moxley. If it was Brody Lee against Jon Moxley and that was it, a straight up match, good. Would be fine. Dark Order, killed it. Moxley needs to just eat him alive. Now, I mean, I feel bad for saying that because I want Brody Lee to be utilized somewhere else and a lot better, but this isn't utilizing him any better. This is a fucking albatross of a goddamn gimmick. Disband the fucking Dark Order. Anyway, he references their past Y Family Shield thing. Cool. So, all you had to do was ask, Moxley said, and then he got kicked in the head. So, that fucking bullshit was over. And look, more bullshit, because Brandy Rhodes cuts a promo. She's going to get on this fucking show one way or another. I don't hate Brandy as a person, but this is nepotism at its goddamn finest. She has words for Roberts and Archer. And she says, I'm going to slap you back, Roberts. Okay, that's elderly abuse. To be fair, Jake Roberts probably could take a slap. But then, we're done with Brandy Rhodes, except we're not, because then QT Marshall is there, and there's Brandy, and it's against Lance Archer, and Jake was there, had his mask on, and took his mask off at one point. I know, I just don't fucking get it. Wear the fucking mask if you're going to wear the mask. They're not easy to breathe in, but fucking hell. So, chokeslam on the apron, Britt has a shoe, hits QT with it, and then Brandy throws the shoe into the crowd. Great, good, or further into the arena. Great, good. We need this feud. We need Brandy in a fucking match. That's exactly what we don't fucking need to build the women's division. So anyway, Blackout, Lance picks him up, EBD claw, and pins him for 3. And then Britt lays out Brandy with a DDT, and then Jake drapes his big old snake across Brandy. Good. This is something that was out of style by 1992. And I like Jake. Don't get me wrong, I like him as a performer. But we don't need to be going back to old tropes like this. If I'm going to criticize WWE for doing it, maybe you shouldn't do it here. But you know what? This pairing of Archer and Jake Roberts, I don't think is working as well as they think. I think Archer could get over just fine on his own, but I don't know. I just didn't see the point. I mean, whatever. I didn't mind Brandy being humiliated because as an on-screen character, she's freaking atrocious, but it's going back to something that was out of style back in the early 90s. So, Double or Nothing plug. It's Moxley versus Brody Lee. Great. Keep the Dark Order backstage. MJF versus Jungle Boy. Cody versus Archer. TNT Championship Finals. Casino ladder match for an AEW World Title shot. Taz with Darby Allin, and he's blown off because Darby was probably ashamed that Taz still doesn't know English. He doesn't have a goddamn neck, and he doesn't understand any goddamn English at all. I know that he has a different way of speaking, but fucking hell. So, and next week, this is what they're doing. Brody Lee versus Christopher Daniels, MJF in action. Jurassic Express with Marco Stunt versus Best Friends versus Orange Cassidy. Well, I know what match I'm going to hate. Archer and Roberts interview, and Jericho versus Pineapple Pete, because he hates that guy. And then Forward Statlander, Baker, and Sheeta next week. Cool. Okay, fine. You know what? Maybe that'll make up for the fact I got to deal with watching Stunt and Orange Cassidy. Even though they're, backstage. So anyway, or they're just at ringside. Jericho and Guevara versus Omega and Matt Hardy. Street fight. I'm going to make this very quick. It wasn't very good. I know that they were having fun and using the most of an environment. Hey, you're going to have a street fight. Usually street fights, they still have to end in the ring. This was just street fights, falls count anywhere match. Okay. Even though I don't remember if they said falls count anywhere or whatever. But anyway, they're all in jeans. Matt is taken backstage and then comes back as version 1 Matt Hardy, so to speak. And takes out everybody. We get bats. We get a splash onto a table. Hager pulls the ref out. They all battle backstage into the Matt gets put in a trash can. The wrestlers are all there cheering on and everything. Matt gets put in an ice machine. Now he's Matty Ice. He's a Matty Ice that actually has won a world championship. Yep, cheap shot. I know. And we get more plunder, guardrails, and then he's Damascus. He appears. Whatever. I like Matt, but this broken gimmick has just fucking leapt, it's jumped the goddamn shark, and it's over the goddamn moon at this point. We had a traffic cone spot at one point. Sammy bumped off the golf cart because Matt Hardy actually drove the golf cart, and Jericho took a bump. Sammy took a fucking bump like he just flew. That looked dangerous, but I mean, credit to Sammy. He's goddamn insane. And then Omega moonsaults off of the scissor lift at one point, and then Matt gets put through a table later because Santana and Ortiz attacked because they appeared right at the area into the arena, or into the stadium where the Jacksonville Jaguars play, because that's where Daly's place is, right next to it. And Matt gets powerbombed through a table. Omega gets powerbombed onto the roof of the golf cart. And Juice Effect, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that is the end of that. Look, people can like this if they want. That's fine. If I'm going to criticize WWE for putting on a bad show, I got to criticize Dynamite for putting on a bad show. There were things I liked, there were things I did not like, and there were things I hated. And I stated them all right there. So anyway, I look forward to the hate in the comments because how dare I share my opinion, but I stand by it. The Dark Order fucking sucks. And well, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are going to have to try and get a good match out of Trent, or at least a good match out of Chucky T. Trent's really good. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritland. I'll see you soon.